delete that. On the bottom, delete all of this now. It's all relevant. Single prints, higher range volume. Okay, that's what we wanted. We'll go to the 2-hour time frame. Okay, no real change in the volume profile. We haven't come into the high volume node yet, just yet. There is a high volume node there. That's the higher range volume. No, let's see the lower range. So I've got this lower range volume profile as well. Let me just see if that's changed at all. No, no changes. And actually what you can see is we've left the range. Yeah. So right now we've left the lower range. This whole lower range, we're on the upper side of it. And we're coming into some kind of resistance. But we haven't got there yet. Do we have any levels? Not really. Not really any levels. Any MPOX? No MPOX. Probably this one is cleared now. So let me delete that. Single prints. Higher up. We've got single prints. I think we're good, huh? I can't see much resistance, to be honest with you. It's amazing because on Slurf we're into resistance, but on okay, there you go. There's your resistance. I knew there had to be something that was stopping the price from going up, and there it is. Right. So we're into the golden pocket, as you can see. We've actually come into it, which is quite healthy. So we're back above, we're up above, we're into the golden pocket, and we're above this pivot here. As long as we're above this pivot, I think we're good when it comes to Bitcoin. You know, that's an SR flip. At the moment, you could probably ignore the these volume levels, this low range. I can just ignore that. And as long as we hold this SR flip, I think we're fine. Yeah. And so naturally, I think it'll be, people will be looking for long entries on this little mini range that's formed. The easiest ones on Bitcoin will be like a swing failure of the lows into the SR flip. That would be a really good long on the local time frame. Little SR flip, back test, swing failure of the lows there. Yeah, that'd be easy, huh? Take it right back up to the highs there. An easy trade potentially. And we could be forming some kind of flag here. As well. And obviously you don't want to lose that SR flip. I think that's going to be problematic. If that happens, then you've got this weekly level, which we haven't really back tested, and we just have to see where the price finds support. I think this whole thing starts to become problematic when you start losing levels. I think the first level is that pivot there. We've broken that pivot. You don't really want to lose it now for a bullish impulsive continuation. I think if we lose that level, that brings into question the impulse, yeah, because this is quite impulsive. Maybe then we'll be looking at more of a corrective move rather than an impulsive move, because I think if you lose that, then we're going lower. Then this whole thing becomes a little bit more corrective rather than impulsive, yeah. And so naturally for impulsiveness, I'm looking for continuation. I don't really mind how long this takes, but I want to see the bullish momentum continue. I want to see continuation. I don't want to just see the price fall flat on the first attack, first resistance. You know, this is the first area of resistance after this impulsive move. If you fail here, then that's a bad sign, isn't it? That's like that's not healthy. So this is the question. Do we fail here and we start pulling back? Or do we consolidate underneath resistance, which is what's happening right now? Form some kind of consolidation pattern here and then have a break up to head to higher. Okay, so at the moment we're just consolidating underneath resistance, kind of like what we were experiencing here, except the context is slightly different, because here, although this is quite bullish, we had a triple bottom, and we're looking to kind of come up here. The difference here is that we had a swing failure and we're into the point of control, okay, for the first time. Ever since that moment, after the price rejected, we went down to have a failed auction with a V-shaped recovery, followed by a higher low here and a rounding bottom to break out of this Adam and Eve pattern. Okay, so a very different context. Also, while the point of control was previously here, when we first attacked that level, the point of control has now moved to here, to this area here. That's where the point of control is now. Okay, so that's also quite a bullish idea, that the point of control moves to the lower part of the range. And if this Adam and Eve pattern is correct, then we have to test the neckline, and the neckline must hold. Okay, that's this SR flip. The neckline must hold, and I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the neckline to hold as support. If the neckline isn't tested, then it's been front run. Okay, that's basically what's happening. If you don't get a pullback to the neckline, then you're being front run. There's just so much buying here that the price is unable to come back to the neckline, because people are looking at this pattern and they're going, wow, this is a really bullish bottoming reversal pattern, and based on this pattern you're targeting higher prices, easily higher prices. How high, I don't know, probably all the way up to kind of 72 at the very least with this pattern. Okay, and this is a potentially a good entry because you have a low a small invalidation, and you have a quite a high risk to reward based on that small invalidation. We are into resistance, but honestly it's just a golden pocket. There's nothing else really. This high volume node which hasn't actually been tested yet, and then I think going up we should probably go up to like 69k quite quickly after we take out these highs, which we haven't done yet, which is good. I didn't want the highs to be these highs to be taken just yet, and that's good. That's what you want to see. You want to see the highs not taken yet, because if we can go down now and squeeze up, we can squeeze the local high, and then hopefully we can squeeze those highs, back test this higher volume node for some kind of support, and then head to higher. Okay, and that's, I think once we get past those highs, honestly, just looking at the way the price dropped here, I don't see any reason why we can't push up really quickly like that all the way up to there. Yeah, we obviously have resistance levels in the way, but the way the price moved like that through those levels could mean that we go through those levels without any resistance. Yeah, the way the price went down so fast could mean that we go up just as fast without the area there offering much resistance, and then we're into our major resistance, which is our daily level, monthly level. That will be a major take profit or hedge location for everyone. Yeah, and once we get into that daily level, that monthly level, you would want to protect your position if we do get up there and we complete this pattern. Okay, so right now I think the main thing that I'm mindful of is not losing this SR flip. If you lose this SR flip, then you'd have to wait to reclaim it before you long, or you're looking for lower. Yeah, now who knows how low it can go. I think down here would also work, because that would be a back test of the idea of this inverse head and shoulders. You could argue that the measured move is already completed, but we haven't had a back test, so potentially that will be the place to enter again. You would be, if that was to happen, I'm not fond of that idea, because I feel like you're going to a rounding bottom to what? What is that? What does that look like? A triangle, a circle, maybe a square? You know, is this kindergarten? Are we creating shapes? You know, like it doesn't appeal to me. Yeah. So while you could have a nice trade there, I don't know if that's going to be more than a scalp for continuation to the downside. Yeah. So I'm not contemplating that. I'm just saying that let's not lose this SR flip. That's what I'm saying. If we lose this SR flip and we can't reclaim it, then I'll probably take profit on my, or hedge or something on my position, which I have, just simply because I think this quick move up can be filled quite quickly. While I've got it coming down at an angle, the reality is if you lose that level, you're probably coming down just as fast, like that. Yeah, that's why you have to be careful when the price moves up so quickly. If the price gets back down, you can also come down very quickly too. Yeah, so you have to be careful of that when that happens. So what am I saying? I'm just saying that we don't want to really lose that SR flip, and if we do lose it, just wait for a reclaim before you start longing. And probably the next long could be just a little local SFP here of this mini range that's being formed here, and that will probably be an easy long, probably. When I'm looking at the order flow, I haven't looked at the order flow yet. Oh, I can see that there's some shorting going on. Yeah, I can see that there's a little bit of shorting happening here. Longing too, but I can see that there's a little bit of shorting. You can see that we're holding the VWAP as support, okay, but we're underneath the daily open, and so right now the price is trapped between the daily open and the VWAP. It looks like we might see a little bit of an indecision day today. It is possible. I can't see any kind of divergences. Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, there are divergences. You can see it. You can see that here the CVD is higher and here the price is lower. So we are actually experiencing some kind of local bearish divergence here. Now, again, this might lead to what I'm suggesting, which is the price goes down, takes the liquidity from the lows. That's kind of where you want to see bullish divergence with a swing failure into that SR flip that I was talking about to ride this back up. So effectively a flat correction right here. That's kind of what I'm considering, and then we have to see what happens, right? And that's basically Bitcoin. Let's see if we can get a flat correction here. You could, maybe this is our wave 1 and this is our flat wave 2. Yeah, maybe this is what we're going to experience, a little bit of a sideways range here. That would be really nice. Consolidation underneath resistance, a flag of sorts, holding this SR flip as support. If I go back into XO charts, Let me just have a look at some of this stuff quickly. Okay, so there's single prints much lower down. So there's no natural single print support. It's quite lower, these single prints. And then we've got a session point of control at 63660. 63660, and then the single prints are 63190. It's quite lower, 63190. It's amazing because the price was moving up. It didn't create any gaps. No single prints in this move up. So maybe the price doesn't need to come down because you don't really have any gaps. So maybe a back test of that SFP into that low could be a good trade. But you don't have any single prints. That would have helped. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to tell what could happen. So just have that trade plan in mind, and then if it happens, you can take that trade maybe. Let me also just kind of look at the volume from these lows to now. Yeah, there's nothing here. The gaps are here. The gaps are here. So I don't think there's any gaps here. All right. So I'm just looking for a local long here, David, and see what happens. If we get a little SFP, that would be great. We're into resistance now, which is the golden pocket, but because we've cleared this previous pivot high, I think as long as that holds, then this is kind of, we'll be looking for bullish consolidation, for continuation. Consolidation above this previous high, underneath higher time frame resistance without taking liquidity. This potentially is bullish consolidation for continuation. If we get a back test on that neckline of this Adam and Eve, I mean, arguably the neckline is slightly lower. That's something to bear in mind. Okay. But I don't see any gaps until lower, much lower. And I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to see the price go that low, considering that if you look at this higher time frame candles, yeah, what are you seeing here? Well, on the daily time frame, I mean, you can't get more bullish than that, can you? It's like a bullish engulfing. You've cleared the price action over the last how many days, all the way through to from 25th of April to now. You've taken out all of the price action. This is extremely bullish. This candle is extremely bullish. Look at the 3-day candle. We're only halfway through the 3 days and we're already at the highs. Yeah, doesn't mean we're going up, but it doesn't look like we want to go down. It'd be very weird for the price to go down. If you look at the weekly candle, we're already above the previous week high. I mean, that's off the charts bullish, isn't it? Look, that's a bullish, weekly bullish engulfing candle after you had this dragonfly doji and the pullback, and now we have an explosive move. Of course, the week hasn't ended yet, so we don't know how this weekly candle is going to end. I guess what you don't want, like on the weekly time frame, as long as this weekly candle closes above the previous week high, which is basically that pivot that I'm talking about, then I think this is good for continuation. But I mean, just looking at it, we're on Thursday today. We may end up with a crazy bullish candle going all the way up to the highs. We may end up with one crazy bullish candle, and then what's this? This whole thing is going to look different, yeah. Because now we're right back into the highs again, yeah. After all of this downturn in 1 week, we're right back up to the highs. That's going to look really bullish. So we may, and then that will give a lot of space for a pullback for people to enter, because that's what you need when you want a continuation. You need people to have space to enter. Sorry about that. So yeah, so all right, let's see what happens. All right, let me just have a look at these other time frames as well. Look at that 2-day candle. This is a reversal pattern. That was a bullish reversal candle all the way down to the bottom, and now we've had a close right above this previous high. This whole thing is a bullish reversal in the making, and now what the price is doing is it's just consolidating, finding support. It looks like it's found support off that previous level. Maybe we don't go down to clear the liquidity. That's your entry, but maybe this was enough, you know, maybe this was enough. No one really knows. And you know, the only thing that I'm like thinking about now, I am wondering about whether we go down there to take that low, just simply because this is your higher low, this is your higher high, this actually is your lower low. I almost don't think we want to go and take that low. Maybe we want to actually just put in a higher low here. And so that's something. Maybe actually this would be better. We're already finding a reaction there already. So maybe actually we don't want to take out that low. Maybe we just want to hold that. We just want to now go up and take out the high. But the thing is, this is just on a 5-minute time frame. All right, let's just see what happens. I'm not 100%, David, so I'm not sure. While I think it would be good to take the liquidity, that would be a confirmation of 5-minute bearish market structure. Let's quickly have a look at Slurf again. Okay, that's interesting. So Slurf is often leading, and you see Slurf is it hasn't made a lower low yet. This, oh, has it? No, not yet. At the moment it's a higher low. That's your lower low there. So I've got the key levels here. I actually think Bitcoin is showing, even though Bitcoin has put in a lower low here, it's actually a little bit more, it's showing a little bit more strength than Slurf. And because we know Slurf is leading, it kind of makes you think that we could be going down, just to kind of to do this. Let me have a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is going up. All right, so a lot of people are interested in Bitcoin dominance, and this is my target. This little kind of EX marks the spot. I think once we get there, we're going to have a crazy alt season. That's when alt season begins. We're not far away from alt season. We're only 3.21% away from alt season. And potentially that could happen. It could begin in June. So I am wondering if by the end of this month we do get up to there, and in June we can begin alt season, which would be a rejection from that area of interest. I got an alert on ETH BTC yesterday, and I was looking for a swing failure here, and it didn't. There was no swing failure. So what you can see now, which is quite interesting, is that ETH BTC is bleeding like there's no tomorrow, literally giving up any gains that ever existed. What does that mean? Nothing really. It's the same as everywhere. It's the same as always. The price is just trying to find support. Yeah. And I think this kind of correlates to Bitcoin dominance going up, because effectively what's happening is that anyone who has ETH is selling it into Bitcoin right now, and that's kind of helping to push Bitcoin up, but at the same time it's at the expense of ETH. It doesn't mean that ETH doesn't go up. So this is what you have to understand. If Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up in terms of fiat value, okay? But in terms of BTC value, if we want Bitcoin to pump, we need everything to bleed into Bitcoin, and that's what's happening right now. So ETH has been losing levels, and you've got the volume levels, you've got higher time frames. That literally ETH is losing everything. Have I deleted all my stuff? No, there it is. Okay, so and while on the higher time frame I'm really bullish on ETH, like I'm really bullish on ETH, you can't ignore the fact that ETH is losing levels. Now where is a good place to pick up ETH if anyone's interested? Where is this going to find support? I think this is going to coincide with Bitcoin dominance peaking, and maybe this is going to happen by the end of this month. And so just looking at it right now, if you just do a simple fib pool, look, we're losing this 382, right? We haven't had a swing failure of this previous low, so this is actually quite bearish. We haven't had a back test yet of this 382. Let me have a zoom in on the time frame. No back test. So we're getting a continued sell-off here, and this is just continuation of the downtrend. Okay, this is all bearish, and so naturally, because we've lost the 382, our next target is going to be the 50% mark, which is halfway of this range that we've formed, this multi-year range. So basically from the low here from August 19 through to the high which was put in at December 21, the 50% mark is here. That's naturally going to be your next support level as we head down. I can't really see any reason why we should find support anywhere from where we are now to that level, to be honest with you. I can't see any reason why we should find support. Nothing. There's nothing there that would give me that confidence that there might be some kind of arbitrary support level in between. That's probably going to coincide with Bitcoin dominance. There's potentially a little kind of like some kind of trend line here, but I'm thinking that we should really bottom out at the end of this month. From this pivot to this pivot, I don't like it. I like this one better. Let me just do something else. Okay, that's really interesting. So we do have quite strong confluence now. So we have this kind of lower range here. I've taken it from when we enter and leave this lower range. And the value area high coincides with the golden pocket from this pivot to the high. That coincides with the 50% area of this, from this pivot low to this high as a whole range. And there's also some kind of sloping downward trend line here. I'm not sure exactly where the pivot would be because there's lots of little pivots here. And, you know, I am thinking that we possibly should come into that area at the end of this month, by the end of this month. Like that. Find support to go up. That's what I'm thinking. And why to go up? I mean, it doesn't have to go up. Yeah. But why not? Why not go up? It depends on how quickly we come down as well. So ideally, you want this to come down very quickly as well. You don't really want... The problem with when the price comes down slowly is that you trap a lot of liquidity, which has to be untrapped. And so naturally, what I would prefer is just like a quick drop. And then when we do find support, we can just go right back up really quickly. I'm thinking that that could possibly coincide with Bitcoin dominance pushing up to my area of interest too at the same time. That will probably lead to Bitcoin pumping, dare I say it. Yeah, I think if the liquidity is coming from ETH, then it doesn't it doesn't matter about new liquidity. Let the liquidity come from ETH. Who cares about new liquidity? No? Don't really care about new liquidity. let the liquidity come from ETH, and let's pump Bitcoin. And then when BTCD tops out and ETH BTC finally bottoms out, then we can have alt season. Maybe what needs to happen is that Bitcoin needs to break the all-time high, get above and break the all-time. Maybe that's when we're going to see a little bit of influx of liquidity into the Bitcoin when the price is right back at the highs, because people like to buy the highs. That's what I've come to experience. All right, so yeah, just a kind of like a recap. I think this, as long as we hold that SR flip, we're good. There's no reason to close it. Close your longs. You should always take profit, but you may be thinking to yourself, I don't want to necessarily take profit because I want higher. In that case, you could potentially just wait to see if there is a breakdown and then take profit. You could do that. You're right. Otherwise, I think everything's looking good. The only thing that I'm not fond of right now is the way Slurf is looking a little bit droopy at the highs. I know that Slurf likes to lead, and it's still okay. Like, you know, when you're contemplating Bitcoin and Slurf is still okay. But Slurf, look, Bitcoin is going up and Slurf is going down. Okay, so if Slurf is leading, that could mean that Bitcoin wants to come back down.